No, it's Tuesday, June 17th. Thought it was Thursday for a second. It's 8 o'clock and it is raining again. That is all we've had in New York. It's literally June 17th and we've had one decent day so far with decent weather. That actually felt like the summer. What is going on? I mean, it's depressing already. We wait all year for the summer. We haven't even attempted to get into the pool yet. Last year we were in the pool, I think, by late May. What is going on? I tell you, boy, it is crazy. It is crazy. Can't even finish the work we're doing here because we're adding stone. When we did this almost 13 years ago, we did all of this. None of this was here. The trees weren't here. The fence wasn't here. There was a door here, which we thought was stupid because to come to the side was, we didn't want it. So what we did is we closed that door. We put all of this pavers down. The whole house was basically redone. And the reason why there's nothing here is we had stones here, but now we're just running the pavers straight against the wall. My little backyard, we haven't even done anything in yet, not a thing. Didn't uncover our seating areas. I don't even know if we put anything in our refrigerator. Oh, we just got water here. But it's crazy. This weather is crazy. I thought I just saw the lights on under my umbrella. This is a new umbrella. I don't even know how to use it. We just got it. How do you turn on the lights up here? Is it a button you press? I don't even know how. Hey everyone. How do you even put the lights on this umbrella? Something my wife bought and I have no idea how to use it. Not that we had a reason to use it, but we've had nothing but crappy weather in Lower Westchester. Anyway, I was making a video because I told a few people I was making a video with the giveaways I was doing for the Switch accessories. I think it was a Switch controller from 8-bit. It was some Switch accessories, and I just didn't get to it yet. So I'm gonna get to it tonight. And well, pick a few people because there's gonna be like 4 or 5 different items. All I ask for is you live in the lower 48 states and you're a subscriber. It's gonna be at least one Switch controller from 8-bit. It's gonna be some Switch cartridge holders. One looks like a little toaster that holds a few of them, brand new. I bought a few of them and I realized I don't like storing my cartridges in anything but the case or another book that I have that stores all of them. So I have a few different Switch cartridge holders I'm gonna give away. One's an acrylic box. I think that holds 24. I also have an RC car that's gonna go away when I do the RC stuff. I'm gonna be doing a lot of giveaways just because I like it. It's something I enjoy doing, giving back. I'm trying to grow the community. I'm building a crawler course for all my 18 and 24 scale crawlers. I think I have close to 40 of them now in that size. I'm at 163 RCs that I bought since last year, and I think I have close to 40 of them that are 18 to 24 scale that could, use the crawler course. But yeah, this weather stinks. I don't know who's experiencing bad weather, but in New York, we're lucky if we get 2.5 months of good weather. And this year, it's not starting off good. Not when you have half the month of June gone, and this is the weather we have. Like I said, we experienced, I think, one warm day and one hot day so far. Not good. Not good. I also plan on doing a few travel videos. I'm going to do a video going up and down Central Avenue, starting at the Westchester County Center in White Plains, going all the way to the Bronx. There's a guy I follow on YouTube who does something similar. His name is Action Kid. He used to do local stuff like the Bronx and Westchester, and he got so big. Now he's doing like Asia and Europe. That I don't like watching as much because it's not familiar to me, but I used to like when he did the local stuff. It was fun to watch. He actually passed by my old block in the Bronx 3 or 4 years ago. So I plan on doing something similar to that. I plan on doing a lot of things. I actually have a few editors who work for me for my other business who are going to help me make videos so that they're a little more appealing to you guys. But basically what I'm doing now is just trying to get a community of like-minded people for the different hobbies. One of them is for the RC cars. Another one is for, local DJs near me. I mean, there's a lot of DJs near me. We actually have some popular ones like Scram Jones, DJ Shortcuts, and a few others. But I'm talking about for like the portable scene. Every time I watch the portable contest, it's always in California or someplace in Europe for some reason. The East Coast, I never see any portable jams, so that's something I want to get going. But like I said, I want to use social media for what it's for. Meet, like-minded people, even if they're not necessarily local, just people with the same hobby interest. I'm 51. I'm not young. I have an 11-year-old. I'm married, but I'm blessed that I have a little more time than some because I own my own businesses. So I do have some flexible time to play with certain things. Even my video games. Growing up, I didn't have video games. Growing up, I was born in 73. In 85, when the first Nintendo came out, I didn't have it. I remember going to my neighbors playing. But back then, I would only get gifts for my birthday, which usually was $100 of stuff I wanted and like $50 worth of surprises. And for Christmas, we got $200 and another $100 for surprises. I always chose toys at a young age because I knew I would get more value out of toys. Video games, even today, I could buy 3 or 4 video games and not like none of them. I never wanted to take that chance growing up because I knew if I got G.I. Joe or He-Man or wrestling toys that I would enjoy them. So I never had the Nintendo growing up, the 64 growing up, the Super Nintendo. I think I had ColecoVision, Commodore 64, and maybe Atari. And that's a maybe. So me getting into video games in 2019, originally I did it for my son, and then I realized I enjoy it more than he does. He likes his iPad games. He really has no interest in his, PlayStation 5, Xbox, or Switch games. I tell him all the time he has no idea how lucky he is because I literally have hundreds and hundreds of the games. I basically have almost everything that is good. Even if I don't have time to play it, I still buy it, which is something I'm going to stop because I have a backlog of a few hundred. I probably have another dozen or two pre-ordered still, but I'm not going to do that anymore because basically you get them and they sit on the shelf and what happens? Nothing. It's impossible for me to play that many games even if I live to be 100. And at first I got them with the hopes that my son would actually enjoy them, but he don't. He liked Kirby. The first Kirby game we bought for the Switch a few years ago, it was actually the first game my son and I completed. And I thought he was going to be on a roll after that. I bought him all the Kirby games. And he was into Kirby for a while, and then he gave it up, and now he's back to his iPad games. The birds actually make it sound like it's nicer than it is, but as you can see, this is the weather. Garbage. But like I said, I'm planning on doing a lot just to connect with, you know, like-minded people. Even my truck, for my 50th birthday, I bought myself a Durango Hellcat. I had no idea, I had no interest in it. I didn't even know what it was. But before my 50th birthday, I went in Google, I put fastest production truck because I wanted something fast. I mean, I always had AMGs, but I just wanted to see what the internet was going to see was the fastest production truck. And sure enough, the Durango Hellcat came back as the fastest 3-row truck. I didn't know what a Hellcat was. I'm not going to even lie to you. I had no idea. So anyway, I booked a few appointments. And April 14th in 2023, I bought me my Hellcat. I was almost 50 years old. It was a few months early. And I had a lot of work that was going to get done to it. I already put a chip and a few things in it to give it more horsepower. I think I'm at 660 now, 760 now. It came with 710, and I think it was 60 that was added. And I had a lot of tweaks that were going to happen to it, but right before that happened, my dad got worse. And that was put on hold because he went from being able to take himself to the doctors to me, having to basically do everything for him. So the person who set up everything for me, and it was a lot of work to just even set it up, I told him it's on the back burner for now because it was going to be like 3 months worth of work. And I just didn't want to do all the back and forths with my dad, not knowing what was going on. He's still with us now. He's 85, but he only leaves the house to go to the doctors. I make videos from his balcony sometimes, you guys probably saw. But he never leaves the house. If it's not going to the doctors, he doesn't even leave to get the mail. And he has no steps to get mail, but he doesn't even get the mail. And that's depressing. I asked him if he was coming over for our 4th of July barbecue that we do every year with fireworks. It's like the big party we do here every year, and he's probably not coming. But yeah, this weather gets really depressing. Really depressing. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna make that video tonight sometime about the freebies I'm gonna give away for the Switch accessories. I have another giveaway I'm doing on the 21st. It's for little police lights for RC cars for the 18 to 24 scale. All you have to do is leave a comment on that video of what you would use it for, and I'm gonna pick somebody on the 21st. Just be a subscriber and live in the lower 48 states, please. And the Switch one, I'm gonna probably post tonight, and I'll also post the details. Probably be a week from now or so. It's gonna be like 4 or 5 items I'm gonna pick. A controller, an 8-bit controller, at least one controller, a few accessories for the Nintendo Switch, like little holders for the cartridges, and a few other things. I actually may also give away, I have a bunch of Ambernick and Pow Kitty devices that have like thousands of games on them. I have so many of them that I may pick 1 or 2 of them out and give away too. I really want to see just how many people like, subscribe, and leave a comment. If 4 people leave a comment, I'm just gonna give away the few things that I have. But if it's a pretty good turnout, I'll give away a lot more. And like I said, it makes me happy helping people, especially since the stuff is just sitting here. I'd rather give it to somebody than put it on eBay. Not saying I won't put anything on eBay, I will. I have some expensive things going on eBay. Like I bought the Louis Vuitton Supreme red leather jacket when it came out some years ago. And a few other items I'm gonna put on eBay. And what's good about eBay now is they actually take it and send it to one of their centers to authenticate it, so I don't have to worry about somebody scamming me saying it's not real, because eBay checks it out first and then they send it to the customer, so it alleviates me worrying about getting scammed, because I did get scammed before with a Burberry shirt, and fighting a scammer on eBay is tough. But this way it's not tough because eBay is going to verify it first. And anything you buy on my eBay is, if you're a subscriber, you get 10% minimum. So if you see something on my eBay, all you do is send me a message, tell me you're a subscriber, and I'll send you a code for 10% of whatever it is. Even something like that Supreme Louis jacket. And on items like that, 10% is going to be a pretty penny. I have some one-of-a-kind sneakers, because I used to be a sneakerhead. I still am. I just don't collect like I used to. I mean, I never really collected. I always bought and wore them. But I had a few pair that were literally just one-ofs that cost me into the thousands, and I didn't wear them. I sold one pair. I have one pair left. It's a one-of-one. Jay-Z had some kind of auction he was doing, and whoever donated the most would win the one-of-one. It was one-of-one for America, one-of-one for Puerto Rico. I know it's part of America, but that's what they did. It was one-of-one for Sweden, I think. It was a total of 5 pair, and they made one pair for Jay-Z, and then they made one pair for the winner. I won both. I won the Puerto Rico edition and the USA edition. The USA edition, I think, ran me like $6,000 or something. It came with a letter, you know, all kinds of stuff, so you know it's legit. And they were 2 pair made, one for Jay-Z, and I won the other pair. So they're obviously a size 13. But again, it's a one-of-one, so somebody who's a sneakerhead may want it. But yeah, I have a lot of things going on my eBay. Some really, you know, exclusive things, and then some things that aren't so exclusive. I'm just not keeping things in my house no more that just sit around. Like that red leather Louis Supreme jacket, I only wore a few times. To be honest, it's very bright, like red leather. So yeah, I wore it a few times. I have the matching sneakers. Those I'm gonna keep because they're white and red. They're not so out there, but the jacket is really bright. I have a Ferragamo jacket that I wore once. It's like a tan Ferragamo jacket I'm gonna put up on eBay. I think I have some Gucci boots that I'm putting up, a few pair of Gucci boots, some Gucci pants. I have a lot of stuff that I don't use no more. I'm also gonna get rid of all my new wave toys, and I have every arcade and machine they came out with, except the first 2, but they're just sitting on a shelf. I'm not keeping stuff that people consider death shit anymore because it just sits there. I'd rather it go to a good home. I don't have the boxes for most of them because they were my items. You know, it wasn't. Plus, I have so many of them, I would need storage just for the boxes. But if somebody is interested in all the new wave toys, I have the Coca-Cola machine, I have the Zoltar, I have the cigarette machines. I think I'm only missing, they came out with, they usually come out with 2 variations. I think I'm only missing 1 variation of, I can't think of the game, but the guy with the sword, it's like he runs in a graveyard, ghouls and goblins or something. They came out with 2 versions, and my son broke one because he knocked it off the shelf. But I'm getting rid of all of them, every one of them. I just don't want stuff in my house to just take up space anymore. Same with my RC cars. I have a lot of them. I bought them because I wanted to see what I really enjoyed, but I'm only keeping the best of the best. I'm not keeping, you know, I'm not keeping 6 different, you know, variations of the same one. I'm gonna give some of them to you guys, and I'm also gonna sell some. There goes my rabbit. I don't know if you can see my rabbit. Can I make it bigger? Where can my local rabbit is right there. Let me see if I could get him to come over here. Sometimes he comes over here. My wife yells at me. She's like, he's a rodent. He's a rabbit. I know my hands are a little shaky. Sorry, guys. See if I get the rabbit over here. Let me do it like this. There's my rabbit. I just got a message. It's going to be 77 degrees tomorrow. As long as it's not raining, I'm happy. I'm just tired of this rain. Come here, my local rabbit. You know, growing up in the Bronx, all we had was squirrels and raccoons. Here, I'm 25 minutes away, but we have everything. We have coyotes, possums, which scared the hell out of me the first time I saw them. Rabbits, which I have no idea where they go in the winter. I have a family of raccoons. Now I feel bad. A few years ago, I called the trapper. He trapped them and he let them go upstate. But I feel bad. I'm not even going to do it this year. I just hope no one gets hurt. But it's like a mom and a few babies. I have a feeling they live somewhere. My neighbor to the left of me don't go in her backyard almost at all. I have a feeling they made a home back there somewhere. I see them in my Ring camera every night. Sometimes as early as 9, 10 o'clock. Sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning I see the bandits. Sometimes I put on the speaker and yell at them and they don't move. They don't even care. But yeah, that's my local rabbit right there. Oh, he's leaving. Where'd he go? And sorry, I'm not really paying attention to the chat. I can't really see it that well. I have to figure out how to fix that. But again, if somebody's interested in RC cars, I will be giving some giveaways. I have the giveaway going on the 21st for the RC lights, for the police lights. I'm gonna have a Switch giveaway going soon, probably tonight. And like I said, I'm doing this just to, you know, meet local people. Even if it's not necessarily local people, just like-minded people. You know, when I'm playing with the RC cars, either in front of my house or at the park, I'm 51, but I feel like all the fathers drive by looking at me, and I think in the back of their mind, they're either thinking he's the luckiest guy in the world or this guy's nuts. Because trust me when I tell you, nobody around here has a hobby. The fathers around here are either working 88 hours a week or they're working 60 hours a week and taking their kids to so many after-school programs that they don't have enough time to sleep. One of my friends, he's going through it now. You know, he would love to play some games with me, but he's like, he literally doesn't have the time. His wife has his kids in every after-school thing you could possibly think of. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, basketball, hockey, travel soccer. I mean, some of these kids travel 8 or 9 hours to play soccer. They're 10 years old. I mean, that sounds nutty to me. And we're not talking about kids that are exceptionally good at the sport where you're like, okay, he's going to be the next whatever. Dancing school, drama classes. You know, when my son, he's 11, when he wants to meet up with one of his friends, we have to talk to a parent, and it's like, you know, they look in their Rolodex for like 3 months ahead. My son's kind of like me. You know, he loves being home. He's not even one that likes to go on vacation. We just were in Disney in February, and he made us promise to not surprise him with another vacation without letting him know first, because he's like, I only want to go on one big vacation a year. I said, you're crazy, son. If I was you at 11 years old and my parents wanted to go to Disney 3 times a year, I would have cried and went. But nope. I guess that's the problem. If you make home so comfortable, you know, you don't want to leave. I was trying to get him into karate because by the time I was 11 or 12, I think I started karate. but I didn't stay because stupid me, once I started driving and having girlfriends, I thought that was more important than spending 2, 3 nights a week in karate. And my karate school's still there too. It's Kempo Karate on Yonkers Avenue, all the way down, like not all the way down, but in the middle of Yonkers Avenue, right by the 7-Eleven on the little bridge. The owner, his name was Trent, and I think he still owns it, and he just comes in from time to time because he's like 70 something, 80 years old now. But I wish I stayed in karate school. But I can't force my son to do something he don't want to do, because then he's going to be like these kids that I see who are into karate school for like 4 years and they don't know how to throw a kick yet. And it's because the parents are just like, you're going whether you like it or not, and the kids hate it. And, you know, after years, they don't know what they're doing. Just something today, parents think it's better for kids to be busy than, God forbid, if they were just playing. And to me, my son does really well in school, that he gets to pick what he wants to do. I'm not forcing him to take piano lessons. What's up with piano lessons? Everybody I know is taking piano lessons now. And again, I let my son know he could do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to take piano lessons, I'll buy him a piano, put it in the house. But I'm not forcing him to do it. I'm letting him be a kid, kind of old school style, something that most parents around here don't believe in anymore. There goes a rabbit. Let me see if I could catch him out there. Can I make it smaller again? How do I make it smaller? There he goes. He's crossing the street. He's going to the neighbors. But yeah, it's crazy what kids do these days. Even my relatives, you know, between Girl Scouts, dancing school, drama lessons, like the whole summer, they're basically booked. You know, when I was a certain age growing up in the Bronx, I would just go outside and everyone would be out there. Granted, we had football leagues and baseball leagues, but we basically did one thing per season. Not these kids. These kids are booked morning, noon, and night. It's like keeping up with the Joneses, whether the kids, and you know, most of the time when my son does meet up with the kids, I just hear them complaining to my son. And I don't say anything because I would never interfere with what other parents do. I just find it sad that, you know, I almost feel like if parents see somebody do something that they, you know, again, everyone's trying to keep up with the Joneses, not worried about who's happy or not. I'm the opposite. All I care about is my son being happy, my wife being happy, me being happy. And that's one of the reasons why I started social media. Since I work from home, maybe I meet some like-minded people online. Hope the rabbit don't get hit by a car now. Go on the grass, rabbit. Hey, he went on the grass. Oh, another rabbit. What the hell? There's one here too. What was that, your brother, your sister, your mother? Where'd they go? How many rabbits are here? Usually I only see one at a time. One just ran oh, one's over there. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. I'm over here chasing rabbits. He's over there somewhere. Where'd he go? It's hard to see, but he's over there. Oh, and this one vanished somewhere. All right, people. Like I said, I can't really see the comments because of the way the video is right now. I have to pay attention and figure out why. I plan on doing some live videos. I do live videos from the same spot all year, and it's just funny because usually this time of year it's hot. It's 8:30. It's usually bright still. Like, I mean, it's not bright now because of it. We've been in a fog all day. I don't know if you could see the fog, but you see it. I mean, that's how it's been all day. Man, give us a break. But 4 months ago, I was out here and it was freezing. I had ice on the floor. Luckily, not a lot of snow in the last few years. One thing my mom loved about being in New York, that you get to experience everything. What I don't like about New York is you don't get to experience it long. You know, you get 2.5, 3 months of great weather. Then you get 6 months of so-so. Spring and fall is just so-so. It could get chilly. Winter, to me, I only like winter for Christmas. And to be honest, winter technically starts around Christmas. January, February, and March, I always said used to suck. My wife's birthday is in January. My son's birthday is a day after Valentine's Day. So now they're a little more tolerable, but man, I used to hate January, February, and March with a passion in New York. They were just cold months with nothing else going on. Halloween already went by, Thanksgiving went by, Christmas went by, New Year's went by, so all you had after that was just crappy cold weather. And to me, cold weather gets depressing too. Like I was just looking at that weather in Arizona. It was, I think, 108 degrees. Tomorrow is 111 degrees. Man, I never experienced that kind of weather. I would like to for one time in my life. I always say there's some things I would like to experience once. You know, living in Manhattan, I never lived in Manhattan, but my friend did. He lived on 56th Street in Hell's Kitchen, so I was there a lot. I didn't like driving there. I didn't like parking. But, you know, the nights that I stayed over his house were interesting because, especially before COVID, you could just walk someplace and get something to eat in the middle of the night. I mean, I'm sure you could still do that now. But before COVID, things were even crazier. It was like 24 hours a day. And if you walked, you know, there was always something new every other block. Like you could probably go to a different place to eat every single night in Manhattan on 56th Street. I always said I'd love to live like in the country, not even necessarily in the country, but like an hour upstate where, you know, you're like the only house on the block. I wanted to experience that once for like a year. Evidently, I like where I am now. Without traffic, I could get to Times Square in 35 minutes without traffic. My block is dead, as you can see. It's a flat ground. When I bought the house 13 years ago, before my son was born, I wanted to make sure everything was flat so he could ride his bike in the street, he could play sports in the street, besides having a backyard. You know, we don't have a street where a lot of cars pass by. Matter of fact, since I've been on the phone, I think one car passed by, or two. Like I have some family members that live on a hill. If they play in front of the house, the ball falls, it's done. It's gonna roll down 30 blocks. You could ride a bike over here. You know, when my son was little, we used to push him, or I used to have the little Ferraris that he sat in. I controlled it, and then he learned how to control it. Plus, like I said, I'm literally 35 minutes from Times Square. Not far from New Jersey. I'm not far from Connecticut, probably 20 minutes from each of them places. To major stores, not major stores, but like supermarkets and stuff, I'm a block or two away. You know, it's a very easy neighborhood to get around at, but yet it's safe and it's quiet where I am. Like there's no reason for cars to come back here if you don't live here. Matter of fact, from just showing you like over here, you probably think I live someplace up the line, and it's not really up the line. It's 25 minutes from where I used to live in the Bronx on 241st Street. Just night and day difference. Growing up in the Bronx, we were there from 73 to 94. And I tell you the stories and the things that I saw even as a young kid, I'm surprised I made it out of there. I didn't make it out of there untouched, but when I mean untouched, I don't mean, that could sound wrong, but you know, I got into some trouble I probably shouldn't have gotten into, but luckily it wasn't worse. And that was just because my mom, we lived downstairs from my grandparents, and my mom never wanted to leave her parents. And now that I'm an adult, I don't think that was the right decision, because if I live here with my son and my parents, and this neighborhood took a turn for the worse, and my parents didn't want to leave, I'm gonna do what's best for my son. But my mom never wanted to leave my grandparents, so we didn't leave until they both died. One died in 93, one died in 94. Then we moved to Yonkers, And I have to say, right over the bridge, 5 minutes from where I lived in the Bronx. And that was even just so much different. You appreciate the quietness and, no crime. Like, you really appreciate it when you've been around it your whole life. It took a little while to get used to, don't get me wrong. Coming from the Bronx, this is really quiet. But, me going to school, I had to worry about getting jumped sometimes, which happened. Even though I pick up my son and my wife brings him and I pick him up, he's only 11. But even if he decided he wanted to walk when he gets older, that's not something he'd ever have to worry about over here. For me, I remember taking a bus to school. Somebody pulled a knife out on me on Baychester Avenue, going to school, going to Sousa, which was across from Edenwald Projects. Yeah. And I know I could keep going on and on, but it's like talking to friends on here. One day maybe I will know who some of yous are. I could talk about stuff and reminisce all day. I didn't bump into, a friend of mine from Yonkers called me, Adam, a few Fridays ago. I haven't seen him since like 2000. And in my mind, he still looks the same. Meanwhile, when I saw him, I'm like, whoa, that's probably how I looked at him. You don't see someone in 30 years, you're thinking that's how they still look, even though it's not rational, but in your brain. And then when you see him, you're like, wow, you went from being a kid to an old person. Like, you skipped the whole middle. I guess that's what's the most weird, is that you skipped, I skipped the middle. I saw them when they were young, and then I didn't see them in the middle, and now I'm seeing them when they're old. So it went from being like between 19 and 25, and now they're probably between 47 and 50, something like me. And like I said earlier in this video, working from home like I've done for the last 20 years could get quiet, and working from home has its gifts and its curse. I don't think I'd want to work from home forever. I mean, for the last 20 years, and right now when my son is 11, it's great. My wife works from home, so we're always all around. But I could see why older people want to get out, even if it's taking a job that, I don't want to say is beneath them, but if somebody was used to making a certain amount of money and now they work in a deli or supermarket. But older people just do that because they don't want to be alone. They like talking to people, and so do I. I guess I get that from my mom. And like I said, sorry to the people I can't see in the chat. I just can't see it the way the phone is set up. I have to fix that. I don't go live often. That's why I don't even have thumbnails up. I just took a picture of the flowers for a thumbnail, but I got to fix all that. I'll fix all of that soon, because I plan on building this community up. I don't want it to just be a community of strangers, or I want it to be a community of people, all good people, no drama people. So many channels have, people who just talk about drama all day. I mean, how do you talk about how the Switch 2 is no good every single day? I mean, come on. I'm not saying you can't voice your opinion, but it's a toy, people. It's a toy. Yes, it ain't perfect. Don't buy it then. But you have some people on YouTube that must have made 30 videos on why the Switch 2 is no good so far. When I was into the home arcade community, like the arcade 1-ups and the ad games and them, I still like them. It's just none of them are coming out with anything decent anymore. You had a few people that only talk bad about them, like week after week after week. Or talk bad about people who like certain things, like let people buy what they want. I got into it once with somebody because he was telling people that like they shouldn't like some of these arcades, basically calling them junk or calling them whatever the case is. And I was like, I basically was going back and forth with him, because then he tried to downgrade people and belittle them. And I'm like, no one's belittling you for, the car you drive or the house you live in. So why are you belittling somebody because they like arcades? You don't have to like them. again, you could voice your opinion, but don't knock somebody else because they like something. You know, the birds out there, that's how it used to sound when it was nice out here. When it's like 85 degrees and it's sunny. Well, at this time, it's never really sunny, but the sun is coming down. It's 10 to 9 or 20 to 9. It sounds, relaxing. But like I said, I would never knock somebody for liking something or collecting something. Or look, some people, when I went the last 20 something years, I had a few Mercedes AMGs. I had an E63. I had, I can't even think of them. The last Mercedes I had before this, it was an E6. I don't even remember. It was the coupe AMG. Anyway, the coupe truck. Anyway, when I traded that in, because I've been buying my cars lately, I traded that in for my Durango Hellcat, and so many people were knocking the Hellcat. But I didn't buy the Hellcat for somebody else. I bought it for me. You know, when I bought my Range Rover back in 2014, people told me, don't buy it. It's going to be a dud. I got to say, it was one of my favorite cars, trucks. The only thing is right before the 4-year warranty was up, I started getting some mechanical issues, so I got rid of it then. That's when I think I got the Mercedes AMG Coupe. But I still bought it. And like I said, when I bought the Hellcat for my 50th birthday a few years ago, I didn't know anything about the Hellcat. Now I know there's Hellcat groups and there's whatever the case is. But I bought it because it was something I liked. I mean, could I have bought an Escalade for the same price? Sure, I could have. I could have bought a lot of trucks for the same price, but I wanted something quick, something that still sounded, most of these cars now are electric. And if you look online, the Durango Hellcat even whips the Escalade, the fast truck, the V. I mean, it whips it like nothing. And that was what I wanted. I wanted something fast, but a truck with a few rows, and that's what I got. I didn't buy it to impress anyone, because if I did, I would have bought something shinier. But that's, not the way I do things. I buy things that I want, not things that other people want. I'll probably get an electric something. I want to keep the Durango Hellcat just because it's, especially with the engines not being produced most likely much longer. I may keep it. But my wife has a Alfa Romeo Stelvio. I think I may get rid of that and get her something electric for the first time. I mean, we have a garage, so we could charge it here all the time. Actually, let me bring you guys in real quick. Let me bring you into the dungeon, my house. It's my baby right there. Yeah, it's a mess over here, I know. My basement floor is a mess. It's the only room, it's the only place in the house I didn't redo. I mean, we have new washer, dryer, heater, and all that stuff, but the floor, the walls, and the reason I didn't do anything is because when I lived in the Bronx, my basement was an unfinished basement just like this, and this reminded me of it. So this is some of the stuff I'm building for my crawler course. Some of the paints I have for, in case if I want to start redoing some of my own, what do you call it? I bought all the paints. I have some other things for my crawlers over here. Let me see where they are. But yeah, don't mind my basement. This is some of the crawler pieces up here. These are the ones that you build, but I'm going to put them together. Yeah, I know it's a mess down here. It's a mess. Here's some more crawler pieces that I'm going to put together. Some more crawler pieces up here. Some of my RCs down here. And then what I wanted to show everybody for is, hold on. Hold on, everybody. My video games. This is my collection of, these are all collector editions that I didn't get to yet. Some of them that I did open, I put the pieces up there because I run out of space. But these are some of the collector editions not open. Didn't even go through. Most of them have cellophane on it still. Some didn't come with cellophane, but they're brand new. Some came with a damaged box, like the Spider-Man one up there. But these are all brand new. Didn't even go through the cellophane yet. And that's what happens when you collect without, going through them, because you're busy with other things. These are some of the things I may give away. This is the Retro 85 case for Switches, for Switch games. I'm probably going to give some things like that away with the giveaway tonight. Well, the video I'm going to make tonight. I also don't know if I'm going to keep my Amiibos. I have boxes of Amiibos up here, over here. Under here I have Amiibos. I don't know if I'm going to keep them or sell them. I'm selling these things or giving them away. I never used this 8-bit controller. Too big, I'm never going to use it. Same with this one I bought for the Street Fighter 6. Never used it. I'm going to either give it away or I may even do some eBay stuff. Some controllers I'm going to sell or give away. All new. Never used it. Don't ask me why I bought a flight controller for. I have no idea why. I bought this for the Switch. It's a train controller. It works with one game. I bought the game, but it's in Chinese or Japanese. You can't even understand it. I bought the controller for one game. Sometimes I do some stupid things, I have to admit. Some of the things I'm selling here, my Gucci boots, my Versace jacket, real Versace, not the Versace Macy's crap, Gucci pants, my Burberry wallet, a Ballman sweater. I have quite a few, some Gucci sneakers. I have quite a bit of, some of my cars are down here. My favorite, Bigfoot. Then you have this Bigfoot right here. Then you have Bigfoot down there. That's the clipped version. Some more low CRCs here. All three of them are here. Son of a Digger, Grave Digger, and the Megalodon. I'm going to give these away. I don't like these anymore, these little RCs. They're like $100 in this. I don't like them. Some of my RCs here, as you can see. And the first RC, hold on. The first RC I ever bought was this Grave Digger Traxxas one. And I got it outside a Monster Jam show. Let me see if I can make this smaller. I got it outside a Monster Jam show like 13 years ago. What's crazy is there's times I didn't use that thing for, 5 years, and I would use it once and it would work again. So I'm never giving that one away. I'm probably giving this away because I have the brushless version now. I have the brushless version of this. So I'm either going to give some away, sell some, maybe a combination of both. So if anybody, and this is stuff I'm giving away too here. I have that. This is an Echo Dot in here. This is another Echo Dot here. Stuff I'm going to put on eBay, like this Genesis and that Nintendo Classic. Stuff I'm giving away, some brushless RCs I have, like this brushless RC I'm going to give away, this brushless RC I'm going to give away. I'm giving away this crawler RC. Yeah, just going through my basement. Then I was looking at some papers here that I have that I kept for my son from the 90s and 2000s. This was when my best friend and neighbor was on the front page. September 1st, 1997. Sam Gons. He played for the Giants and the Jets, but he was my neighbor growing up in the Bronx. And I was proud of him when he made it. I kind of lost touch with him because when he went to college, I didn't go to college. And he wrote me a letter from college. This was got to be 95, 90, whatever. And I didn't write him back. I guess I was kind of, I don't know. all my friends were leaving. Some were going to the military, some were going to college, yet I stayed back. And I kind of lost touch with them. Now, my dad actually talks to him more than I do on social media, but I was proud of him. He did well. He worked for the Giants. He played for the Giants and the Jets. A Bronx kid. That must have been special. All right, I talked everybody's ear off. I'm going to put a video up tonight with the giveaways for the Switch stuff. I still have a giveaway going on the 21st of June for police lights for a little RC car that I made a video for somewhere. Just look it up. And tonight, like I said, I'll post a video of the stuff I'm giving away probably next week. You have a good chance of winning. All you have to do is live in the lower 48 states, be a subscriber, tell me which item you would want and why. And if you're the only one, you obviously won. All right, everybody. Again, thanks for listening. Sorry I couldn't respond. I have to fix my screen on my phone. I think I hit a button and I can't see the chat, so I got to fix that. Next time I won't do a spontaneous. I'll check it to make sure I could talk to you guys. All right, everyone. Ciao.